Giants with warm whiskey. Tonight we are going to review something I've been looking forward to diving into. Tonight we are going to be sipping on and sampling some Horse Soldier straight bourbon whiskey. This happens to be a barrel select from the Party Store, which I believe is in Indiana. So this bottle came to me, and I guess I'll have to ask that person that gifted me this bottle if he might know. They have a couple of expressions available, 3 standard expressions there. I believe their reserve, their signature, and then their premium. And each one of those have different colored metal plaques. I think the 2-1 copper brass, and then more of a stainless steel look, or a nice looking, almost, it's a very attractive bottle that comes with a really cool story. So this distillery was founded by former special forces personnel. The name itself, Horse Soldier, harkens back to the very beginning of the Afghanistan war. Some of the first boots on the ground into Afghanistan were Green Berets, and it is a very treacherous, mountainous landscape, and they had to utilize wild horses in order to carry out their mission and operations inside of Afghanistan. And so the legend goes, and there's a memorial to the horse soldiers at the Ground Zero in New York. And we now have some bourbon produced by them. They are using they are, I believe, located in St. Petersburg, Florida, but they actually have a contract and do their distilling in Columbus. So I had to do a little bit of digging to figure out what distillery that might be that would be producing their spirits for them. And from what I gather, it's most likely Middle West, and they were founded in 2008, I believe. It became commercially operational in 2010. So this bottle gives me some questions because I don't quite know. It does come with an age statement of 13 years. So that's got some age on it. I don't know if Middle West has been distilling and aging whiskey long enough, so could this be sourced someplace else? Some MGP stock? Kentucky stock? I do not know. If they've been running since 2010, that gives them now 11 years in operation. So to have a 13-year-old spirit makes me scratch my head. Not to detract from the product, and there's nothing wrong if they're sourcing older bourbons and putting that into their portfolio for barrel selects. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And there's nothing wrong with them contracting with a distillery until they get their distilling operations up and running. It takes time to make whiskey, and you have to do what you have to do if you have a vision and you want to see it through. So they have some tasty whiskey. I have had a sample of their reserve, which is a wheated whiskey. So that's my other question. Is this wheated? Is this rye? I do not know. It is coming to us at 50.3% alcohol by volume, so 100.6 proof. And it is non-chill filtered. So let's pop the cork That's a good pop. And we're going to pour ourselves this, but let's see if we can get this to go in focus for you here. Really awesome cap as well. American Freedom Distillery. Legendary men and legendary spirits. We are getting some very, very strong, interesting notes right off the bat on this nose. There's baking spice. Really wonderful oakiness and sweetness to this nose. It's very, very dense. And there is a hint of a leathery funk in there that I really like. That's a note. If you hear me say something funky, it's kind of a usually leathery combination of, oak and leather. Well, the nose on this is absolutely amazing. Super rich, super dense. Looks like we have some nice legging on the glass, some lacing. I'm really intrigued. There's a nutty quality going on with this. Well, the more I am smelling this, and I'm just going to have to go in and see what arrives here. So. Yeah, comes right on into the palate as well too. This is sweet, earthy, dense. Really long finish. So before I attempt to even give you any words about the palate of this, what I'm picking up, a lot of what's on the nose is translating to it. But it arrives strong for 101 proof, just being shy of 101 proof. It arrives with a pretty good punch. It's not as sweet as I was expecting it to be from the nose, but there was a nice amount of it there, but really these wonderful earthy notes that come in. try this one more time. Yeah, it was a sweet, nutty, earthy, most really struggling to put there's something in there that reminds me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But definitely a really rich, earthy, not too sweet at all. I mean, there's a little bit of sweetness there, but no, but pretty rounded. So not quite sure what the mash bill would be on this. It's not hitting me with like the baking spice and the typical rye mash bill. So perhaps this could be a wheated mash bill, because there's that nutty component to it. There's that earthiness and very rich. Really tight, intense roundedness to it. It's not just rounded and rolled over, but there's a very layered roundness to it when it hits the palate. Well, I'm glad I finally did open this. Apologize for the video that you guys will probably see before this one goes up. It went a little long, but I felt I needed to rant about a few things, celebrity products, and that is what it is. So this one isn't going to go that long. I think I've said enough. Horse Soldier is a really awesome company producing a really good product. I have sampled some of the Standard Reserve, which is their wheated. This tastes totally different from what I've tested. That, which again is a small batch blended bourbon. This is a barrel select. The age statement, 13 years. Leads me to believe that this may have been sourced from a brokerage or another place. It could be. I mean, there could even be Dickel, George Dickel. It could be somebody in Kentucky. There's an earthiness to this that stands apart. So wouldn't shock me if this was even a Tennessee sourced whiskey. Or it could be MGP in Indiana, or it could have came from Middle West. Still scratching my head at the age statement and how that would be possible. That is regardless. To the fine folks at the party store who selected this barrel, a tip of the hat to you. A very fine selection. Barrel picks are fun. I hear controversy about them these days. There's a lot of people out there that say they're not that different or whatever, or that they're a scam or just a marketing tool. I don't think those people have a very nuanced palate and don't really know how to discern between something that sits on the shelf and, I don't even know if they're getting past that wall of burn and whiskey at that point. I've done quite a few barrel picks, and I've enjoyed a lot of barrel picks, not only mine, but other stores' barrel picks and other people's barrel selections. And until you go into a rick house yourself and you get to sample whiskey straight from that barrel and you can look at their log and you can see the fill date, the location, and you can tell the difference from barrel to barrel. And sometimes it's subtle, but a lot of times it can be extreme and it can swing in a whole different way. So single barrel selects are something a lot of whiskey drinkers should explore, and try to find a liquor store or a bar or restaurant that may get them, that has a palate that may be tuned to what you like, or maybe you'll discover you like what they like. But Horse Soldier, I believe it's limited in its availability. I would imagine, being that they are located in St. Petersburg, and that they're distilled in Ohio, they should be available in those two states, but I don't think I've seen this on the shelf in Ohio. I know it's not available in Michigan. I believe the person that gifted this to me got it in Indiana. Maybe it was someplace else, but Mr. D will let me know if that was the case. You guys have yourselves a fine evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you happen to have a chance to check this video out. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment. I'm going to end this on a very positive note. Big thumbs up for the Horse Soldier Barrel Select from the Party Source, or excuse me, not Party Source, the Party Store. Anybody in Ohio or Kentucky or knows the Party Source is right there across the line in Kentucky. This is the Party Store, and I will leave all of this at that. Score.